Good morning. Today we're going to work on improving our respiratory system. So much is going on around us, and it can be a time of a lot of anxiety and stress. And I thought this would be the perfect warm-up to start the day or even end the day. So let's begin. When you inhale, you want to almost be taking in air from the back of your throat. So you're going to hold it for 2 seconds on top, and then you're going to exhale for 5 more seconds. And when you exhale, think of it as almost fogging a mirror. So when it's really hot after a nice shower and you're fogging the mirror, that's what it should sound like. Okay? Don't worry about any creepy sounds or what anyone else is thinking. This is your practice, and you can do whatever you want in this practice. Let's begin. We're going to begin in Shavasana. So come to a comfortable position laying down. You can have your legs flat on the ground. You can have them bent and leaning towards each other. Or you can have them with your feet against each other. So whatever is more comfortable for you. If you have blocks, you can use them as props to help you find more comfort, so you can bring the ground up to you to make this a more comfortable position. So, for example, you can place a block here and on the other side. Whatever's most comfortable for you. Grab our knees and allow gravity to do its work. You can kind of spin your foot. You can use this time to rotate your foot. Get a little stretch in for your ankles. And then let go. Bring your left foot in. Allow your hands to clasp around your knee, and then let gravity do the work. You can rotate your ankles again here. Now bring both feet in. And then bring your feet to the mat. We're going to place our hands by our hips, flat on the ground, feet facing forward, hips width apart, and then grounding our hands. We're going to start to lift our hips up. We can tuck our shoulders under, and we can clasp our hands together, really using our hands to ground down and push our hips up. We're using our glutes, we're using our legs, our thighs, pretending there's a block in between our legs. We're going to really squeeze in and lift up. Make sure not to move your head or your neck. That can cause injuries. Start to lower your body down, and then get your knees close to your chest again. You can rock side to side, massage your back a little. Encircle your knees. And if you want a little bit of a deeper stretch, you can come into happy baby. So grab the front toes and open your legs, and then come into happy baby. And then when you're ready, come back to the ground, knees bent, and we're going to lift our right foot and cross it over our left foot. And we're going to bring the left foot in close to our chest, clasp our hands behind our left foot, and so our right shoulder hits against our right leg, and we push it a little bit back while bringing this ankle and knee closer to our chest to give us a little bit of hip opening and stretch. And then when you're ready, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So bring your left foot and cross it over your right foot. Bring the right foot in closer, clasp your hands around your right foot, pushing your left elbow away, pushing your left elbow against your left thigh, and turn over onto our stomachs. We're going to come onto our hands and our knees. We're going to do my favorite thing, which is cat-cow. I'm not going to get it wrong this time, so I'm going to get into cow, and then cat. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, round your back. Lengthen. And then inhale. Exhale. We're going to tuck our toes under. Lift up into our first downward facing dog. If this is too hard, you can bring your knees down and come into a child's pose at any time. And then from here, you're going to bring your legs close to each other. You're going to lift your right foot and extend it. You want to make sure that while you're here, your hips are not open. Your hips are aligned with each other. And then bring it back down. And do the same thing on the left side. Hips again not flying open. They're aligned with each other. Just lifting, and then bring it back down, and kind of move your legs around, open them up, and then bend your knees. When you're ready, you're going to lift up. You're going to walk your hands a little bit further away, and then tuck your toes under, come into plank, and then from here, you're going to lean a little bit forward, and then you're going to bend your elbows and lower halfway down, and then come all the way down. Untuck your toes. You're going to lift up just a little bit into low cobra. So this is not the same as upward facing dog. And you want to make sure your shoulders are pushed away from your neck, and you're not looking up. You're looking just a little bit ahead, so that your neck is still aligned. And then you're going to push up into a downward facing dog. We're going to do 2 breaths here. And then this time we're going to lift our right leg up, and we're going to bring it between our hands. You can bend your back knee here. We're going to use our core to lift ourselves up. We're going to use our core and our thighs. Lift ourselves up. And then release back down. We're going to open up with our right side. So grounding your left hand, we're going to lift our right hand up And we're going to turn our torso towards the right. If you so wish to, you can lift that back leg. And then we're going to come back down, bend your knee, move your leg back, child's pose. And then come back into dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to lift our left foot this time. And we're going to bring it between our hands. We're going to bring our back foot down. And using our core and our legs, we're going to lift our hands up. And then bring it back down. We're going to open up with our left side, so grounding our right hand down. We're going to open up and lift our hand, left hand. And then bring it back down. You can lift your knee while you're here as well. Bring it down. And then this time we're going to move our right leg up. And we're going to fold over. And when we're ready, let's actually turn to the side of our mat. We're going to turn towards the right. And we're going to open our legs very, very wide. And we're going to keep our hands on our waist. And then we're going to keep our hands on our waist. And we're going to slowly start to bend over. Then release your hands to the ground. If this is too hard for you, you can always use a block to kind of hold yourself up and bring the ground closer to you so that you have a more comfortable practice. Release your head. And just allow your breath to take over. And then bring your hands back to your waist. And we're going to slowly start to rise back up. This time we're going to pivot our right foot towards the back of the mat. And then we're going to pivot our left foot just a little bit. And we're going to raise our hands up. We're going to bend our front knee. And we're going to come into Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana. Then we're going to do Reverse Warrior, so bring your left hand back behind you and reach up towards the ceiling and then the back of the mat. Your front leg stays bent and you're really grounding in. Make sure that your toes are not stuck. And then lift up. You're going to really bend in your knee, lean forward, and then release your hand to the ground and bring your left hand up. Again, this is a great place to use blocks to help you. And then come back up and bend your knee. And then release. This time, rotate your toes back towards the right side. You want to do the same thing on the left side. So pivot your front toes, pivot your back toes, bend your front knee, and then raise your arms. And then release the bend in your knee, lean forward, and release your left hand to the ground, raising your right hand up. Come back up, bend your front knee. We're going to pivot back and then start to kind of shake it out. Chair pose. So what we're going to do, we're going to keep our legs either together and we're going to squat down, raise our hands up. Or if you have a little bit of weaker knees, like I do, we can keep our knees shoulders width apart, bend down into a squat, and you really want to keep your back straight. You want to really stick out your butt, and then Keep your arms lengthened above you. Then release back down. We're going to do this 3 times. So squat back down, come up, and then release back down. Inhale, hands overhead. Hands to your chest. And then squat down. Pretend there's a ceiling over us and it's starting to lower down. So we have to lower down with that ceiling and then hold it. Hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release, fold over. And then we're gonna squat down. Allowing ourselves to let go of all the energy that we put into this practice. Allowing ourselves to let go. To allow our breath to wash over us. To allow us to surrender into our breath and into this peace and into this moment. And then when we're ready, let's come back. Create some friction and heat. And then we're going to rest our hands over our eyes and our forehead. I want to thank all of you for joining me and for allowing me to share this practice. It's such a blessing to know that I have so many people's support and love as I share these videos.